Good afternoon and welcome back to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm your host, Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We've been coming to you live from Philadelphia at Nasdaq and Villanova University's Business School ETF Synapse, and we're really talking about the collaboration of finance and academia to benefit investors. Joining me for this segment, we have Jeremy Skule. He's a Chief Marketing Officer over at Nasdaq. It's great to have you with me in Philadelphia for the first time, our first hit together. Let's continue on that theme, but you just hosted a fireside chat really about the collaborative efforts between the asset managers, regulatory, and how it's going to benefit investors.
Sure. There's so many misperceptions out there about the ETF industry, and at the same time, you're seeing assets under management grow like crazy. We're just under $5 trillion in AUM for the ETP space. And so this group is really coming together to help address some of those misperceptions, to do more on investor education and understand where kind of the risk rewards are in terms of issues management as we go through this sort of volatile period in the markets.
Right. Now, do you think the regulators have taken notice in the ETF industry? Because it really is a big initiative for investors. Over 30% of what's traded on the exchanges is ETFs.
Yeah, so we talked with several regulators that are here, and they actually feel really good about where the space is, the level of transparency, level of disclosure, and all of that in terms of the documentation that's around the ETF space. So investors have clear transparency, and so there is more we can do in terms of awareness, but the information is there and it is transparent, and the regulators seem to think so.
When you talk about research and academia, is that simply white papers?
Well, I think it's more than that. I think it's a partnership between the industry and, for instance, Villanova. So understanding what research is going to really impact the markets, what research is going to help facilitate a better experience with the markets is critical. And I think what you're hearing from a lot of the ETF providers is that more research needs to be done to make sure that we're moving the industry in a constructive direction.
And that's what I think was really interesting with Synapse here today. We have the largest titans of the ETF issuer space here. We have regulators, we have people from the SEC here, asset managers. So it's really interesting to see how you get competitors and collaborators all in one room at this high level of academia.
Yeah, it's amazing. And our team has done a great job of filling the space with great names from the industry. So we're thrilled. We've got over 120 people here all talking about this space. And what's so surprising is that there's so much more people want to do when you talk to them. So I think this is step one of what you're going to see a lot more activation on in this space.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the inside baseball. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining me throughout the day from Philadelphia. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at